So let's sit together. Take time to create a comfortable seat for yourself. If you want to sit on a chair, that's fine. If you feel you need to lie down for any reason, good morning, Gail, please do. The main thing, again, is that you're not struggling to sit upright at all. Just settle down, settle back. Sense that you've landed in this place, landed in this place. Notice any habits of mind to be someplace else, to think something else. And not to judge it, not to assess it, because those two things just clamp down on our freedom. See if you can see afresh with new eyes that which is habitual. And this requires present moment awareness. Be wholehearted in your attention, no less and no more. Just the seeing, just the knowing is enough. And see with kindness and affection. And then I'm going to read, I had just finished doing some work with Sylvia Boorstein, who's a meditation teacher on the West Coast, and I want to read to you from what she said in one of the Dharma talks. One of the last things the Buddha said when he died was transient are all conditions. Everything that arises, this life, this mayfly, this flower, this mountain, and most importantly, this life, anything that's a created thing passes. And then he said to be confident about the future. Let the future arise in confidence. And she says, I love that. I've said that many times, that there is truly really only one Dharma talk. A Dharma talk is a talk about the truth. Life is complex and challenging all the time, from the beginning to the end. And it's manageable, it's doable, and it's possible to celebrate it because it's magnificent and awesome and interesting. And I read that to you now because those words, I think on this particular day and this particular week, are so meaningful. And then just as a change, let me read to you from the poet essayist Diane Ackermans, who does a kind of modern day Dalai Lama Bodhisattva vow. In the name of the daybreak and the eyelids of morning and the wayfaring moon and the night when it departs, I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, as an architect of peace. In the name of the sun and the mirrors and the day that embraces it, and the cloud veils drawn over it, and the uttermost night, and the male and the female, and the plants bursting with seed, and the crowning seasons of the firefly and the apple, I will honor all life, wherever and in whatever form it may dwell, on earth my home, and in all the mansions of the stars. Life is complex and challenging all the time, from the beginning to the end, but it's manageable, it's doable, and it's possible to celebrate. It's possible to celebrate it because it is magnificent and awesome and interesting. And then when you're ready, allow your eyes to open and stretch out your legs. So good morning to you all who've come in. So just to say that next Friday, there will be class, and then everyone will be, so Steve and I we had to redo the waiver form that most of you, I think Betsy, you might not have signed it, So we have to redo that because now our activities are considerably different, and that is required to have a waiver of liability. So you'll receive it online probably by Monday, and then electronically you can send it back to me. You'll sign it, signature and electronic signature. So I wanted just to give you the heads up, and I'll get an email off to you, hopefully by the weekend, I think. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to give you a choice, either soles of the feet together, trunk supported, Supta Baddha Konasana, or if you can, not for you, Joanne, Supta Virasana. Joanne, let me just say also that it is challenging to sit for that time, you know, in Dandasana, and I understand why you did it. You could always sit on a chair, sit on a couch, right? So Supta Virasana or Supta Baddha Konasana. So Joanne, Supta Virasana, not for you. All right, so if you're, let me just show, I think you all know it, obviously. Supta Baddha Konasana with trunk support, which is easier on the knees, but I'm saying it that way because I don't want you to avoid Supta Virasana, just because Supta Virasana might be more challenging. So those of you who are unable to do Supta Virasana, then please do Supta Baddha Konasana. Okay, all right. So we'll start with that. You can support the trunk with a bolster or 2 blankets, head support if you need it. So just want to gather everyone. Lubna, you can belt the thighs if you prefer. You can start with a block underneath you, Lubna, and then do it. So if you're starting in Virasana, as I see many of you already, and I would take Parvatasana, which is basically Urdhva Baddha Kolasana arms in Virasana. It's always a good thing to start with, you know, so before you go back to Supta Virasana. Tom, can you just change your setting? Because it's your head has gone off your body. Yeah. In that virtual setting, it makes you float. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can go back. Yes, Joanne, that's excellent. Just straight legs, even better. And we've done that. Yeah. Donna, you're all good. Those of you whose thighs are splaying, do take belt, do the needful. Betsy and Donna always, you know, you could have also started in a quick Supta in a Paryankasana and then gone to Supta Virasana, just so, you know, don't feel you have to like live by my words. If you would prefer to come into supported Paryankasana and then Supta Virasana, that would have been fine too, just to address everyone's needs, etc. If you note that your thighs are splaying, in Supta Virasana, then clearly use your belt, good Yukiko. You can use a belt also in Baddha Konasana. Bafa can press your thighs down. Lubna, yeah. Okay. Lubna, yeah, you can take the dowel overhead. Okay, so we're just staying, settling, trusting, landing. You know, it takes time. I was just with Janet when she came by to pick up her props. And it's interesting because, you know, she remembered me saying some time ago that sometimes, you know, when you meditate formally, what I call a formal practice of meditation, sometimes, you know, it takes 20 minutes for the body to land. You know, the mind is so active, so fragmented. We bring so much fragmentation every day, all the lists of things we do. And I always use that example where I put my hands out in front of me and literally set it down, set that burden, all those things, and put them down. And again, trusting, settling, landing now with the body, with the mind, merging the body and the mind, and ultimately the breath. If you feel particularly agitated, you can always work with a 2-to-1 ratio, a 1-to-2 ratio of the breath in terms of inhaling, say, for 2, exhaling for 4, or you perhaps inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8. And you can make that exhalation through pursed lips of the mouth, like a straw. You're holding a straw between the lips. That might be helpful as well if there's a lot of fragmentation in the mind. doubling the exhalation to the inhalation. So today, as I said, we're doing leg stretches, opening the backs of the knees. And we're using sort of a contrast, this sequence, in using the earth element, be the floor or wall, and the air element. And you'll see as we go through the sequence, when you have something to push into, be it the feet or the legs themselves, it's much easier to open the backs of it. Okay. So with that said, I think I'll take the Supta Virasana people out first. So those of you who are in Supta Virasana, place the hands in the arches of the feet, lead with your chest and up you come. And then those that are in Supta Baddha Konasana can come out just placing the hands at the backs of the thighs. Having the feet on the floor. And then everyone can stretch out the legs in Dandasana. Okay, have the feet hip width apart and just use the floor now. You can show me in profile. So really pay attention. We'll go back to Dandasana throughout the sequence, right above the knee and above the knee. And then bifurcate your calf, divide in two, spread the calf flesh and extend through the heel, which many of you, need to do more of that in the Supta Panagusthasana cycle. But Tom hasn't come back in yet. Hi, Liz. Lindsay, good. Okay, so sit up tall in Dandasana. Okay, now from Dandasana, be with your feet. So where you're coming into Upavishta Konasana, look at your feet so that the feet don't, hi Tom, lose their perpendicular quality. And then just like Dandasana, put your hands on the top of the thigh and press it down. You can show be in profile or not. So Upavishta Konasana, wide legs. Use the floor. So this is the pose that is most helpful to open up the backs of the knees, and hence why we're starting with it. Because in Upavishta Konasana, the whole leg covers the floor. Just take the hands beside the hips, and if you're in profile so I can see it, make your trunk upright, bring the shoulder blades firm on the back body. If you need to adjust your head so that the chin is not lifting or not ducking down, elongate, good Peggy, your cervical spine. Okay. If you're able to take the legs a little bit wider, you can place your hand in front of your broad pubic plate and scoot in. Go a little bit wider, maybe not to your maximum, but maintain the ceiling of the legs to the floor. Okay, now quickly raise the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Now on that next exhalation, aim to get the left hand over to the outer right knee. Keep the trunk perpendicular. Bring the left shoulder blade deep into the back body. Try not to lean back nor lean forward. Now, just glance with your left eye at your left foot and see that the foot is perpendicular to the floor. Now take the arms up, seal the legs to the floor. And then again, right aim of the right hand to the outer left knee, keeping the trunk perpendicular. Take a glance at your right foot with your right eye and see that is not rolled in, or for that matter, rolled out. It's maintained its perpendicular quality. Okay, and then repeat, same thing, arms up. Exhale. See that the chest is turning, not the head turns, but it's only after the trunk turns. And now again, take a look, just look out of the outer corner of your left eye at your left foot. Raise the arms up, sharp exhalation, and now turn to the left. Chest still perpendicular. Aiming now the right hand to the outer left knee. Trunk is perpendicular. And now come back to center. Go a little bit wider if you can. Okay, now what we're going to do is, you can just see me in the screen. I'm just going to take my right arm in line with my left arm in line with my left ear. Okay, now if your arm falls forward of your ear, then you can place your hand on the back of the skull. So it will start out bent and then go to straight. Okay, so with that said, so the arm is like Utthita Parsvakonasana. Exhale to the right. Again, if your left arm falls forward of your ear, bend the arm. Turn the arm from the inside out and then extend it through the inner wrist. And then other side. To your left, keeping the right arm poker stiff. If you need to or want to, that's good, Donna. And even if the arm didn't fall forward of the ear, it's nice to have the hand on the back of the skull, Ugnaya, and then re-stretch the arm. If the armpits are tight in any way, they will enjoy that slight bent arm to straight. Good. All right, now come back to Upavishta Konasana. Raise the arms up. Raise the arms up. We'll just stay with the arms up. If you have a dowel, again, if the arms come forward of the ears, go wider, decentralize. So we're staying a bit of time working the arms. Now come back to feeling the legs firmly in contact with the floor. Just imagine your hands, instead of being airborne, were down on the roots of the thighs. Good. Reach up through the fingertips. Those of you more flexible in the lower spine, and even especially if you're facing me and not in profile, make sure you're not digging your lower spine forward. The back kidneys should not be feeling that pinching in quality. Okay, now take the arms down, bring the legs back to Dandasana, and do Prasarita Padottanasana at the wall. If you don't have a wall, you'll just do it freestanding. So this one, so it's the same shape as Upavishta Konasana. So basically you're standing forward of the wall, then you bend forward. This is the easiest way to do it. Then you step back and seal your legs. If you have a baseboard, it's a little bit unfortunate, but it will work. Glue the legs in the same manner that you did to the floor, to the wall now. Have your hands directly in line with your shoulders and the back is concave. So bend forward when you're before, yes, that's it. Now seal the legs. Yes, just imagine I had my hands on the roots of the thighs like your hands were there. Go as wide as you can. Good, Yukiko, go as wide as you can. Tom, you can use that, I think the white wall there. Good, Don. Seal the legs. Exactly what you just did in Upavishta Konasana. Concave back, shoulder blades flat on the back. So you can see how Upavishta Konasana informs Prasarita Padottanasana. Okay, stay there. Yeah, so just the first stage. Donna, that's fine. If you're going to do the second stage, it's fine. Okay, now step forward away from the wall. All right, now Uttanasana against the wall. So again, with the feet hip width apart, one bends forward at the hips, hands to the floor, step back. So this is Dandasana, like you did on the floor, now at the wall. Remember, and I didn't say it in Prasarita Padottanasana, but suck those outer shins in. Outer shins in, now the feet are hip width apart against the wall. The reason we're doing hip width apart is it's easier to straighten the legs when they're hip width apart than when they're together. We will do together when we do Parsvottanasana. First stage, just concave back. Good. All right. Now step forward of the wall, place the hands on the hips, inhale, up you come. And now place your blocks at the wall and do your calf stretch. So the blocks can be on the right up against the wall in this manner, on the low side, and you're putting the balls of the feet on the blocks. The heels are down. And then remember, don't let the buttocks stick out. Chisel your tailbone and lift up from your pubic bone. Outer shins in. Outer shins in. Move the buttock flesh, good Betsy, buttock flesh down, tailbone to pubic bone, and then lift from the sides of the pubic bone. Ellen, good. You can also do on the stairs, can also do with chair, but because we are after a wall, and it's a very fluid sequence, you go from the floor to the wall, now you're facing the wall. Good. Okay, and now slowly, mindfully come off. Good. All right, now you're taking Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can start from Tadasana, but I want the heels up on the wall. If it's easier for you to get the heels up at the wall so you can use the wall to straighten the legs, then you can take it from an all four, which is probably slightly easier. Also remember that when you're placing your heels up at the wall, it's likely that you're going to shorten the distance. So see if you can create maximum distance for your spine to elongate when the heels are up on the wall in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Heels pressing into the wall. Good, Donna. So again, use the earth element of the heels being up in the wall to open up the backs of the knees. Open them up. Val, it looks like your walk the hands slightly forward. Because I think if I drop that plumb line from your hips, your legs are much closer to your hips than your hands are. Betsy, that's good. Okay. If you needed the blocks, then fine to take. So now, Tom, we're doing Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog at the wall. Down dog at the wall. Use the wall. So this is, you can see where we have great appreciation for the floor and for the wall because it helps us to stretch our legs. Okay, now walk forward with your feet. Place the hands on the hips and then inhale, up you come. Okay, so some of you might need 2 blocks for Parsvottanasana. You can place your blocks. You'll start from the top of the mat. And this is where, at some point you'll know exactly the right distance you need to be from the wall so that when you step back, with your left heel, your right leg will be in front. So you can come into it the way I came into it, bending forward, then I bent the leg, or better yet, would be just from Tadasana with straight legs and step back, okay? All right, so you're standing basically at the top of the mat. And of course, as you do Parsvottanasana, stepping back, you'll know exactly where to be. Spread the feet, lift the pubic bone up, outer shins in, and just raise the arms up, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Okay, when you take the arms overhead, remember not to push the thighs forward. Now with your hands on your hips, take a giant step back with your left heel, giant step back. So now your left heel is at the wall, your right leg is straight, and you're compacting your hips, meaning that the right hip is moving to the left and the left to the right. Suck the outer right shin in as you did in the previous poses of Prasarita, Uttanasana, and Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now here's the key. I want you to keep the legs poker stiff. There's always a tendency to bend, especially the back leg. So put your presence of mind in your back heel, left heel, in contact with the wall, the floor, at the wall. And now bending forward at your hips. Coming slowly, place the hands more in line with your heel than your toes. If you need the blocks to make the back concave, take it. Now that's too high, yeah. You can be on fingertips. So I'm looking, yeah. Move the trapezius away from the cervical spine. So no one's back. You don't feel that upper trap colluding with your neck muscles. Look forward from the bridge of the nose to keep the neck long because that deep neck bend won't serve you well. And now bow down, bow down. Some of you will be able to connect, good Betsy, the thigh with the trunk. Some of you, that will be a little bit challenging now, but we'll repeat this down the road. Keep both legs straight. Now, again, presence of mind on your left back leg. Place your hands on your hips, inhale, up you come with straight legs, both entry and exit, which is challenging unless you're mindful of it. Now kick forward with the left leg. And then you can show me in profile. You're going to take Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana, and now bend forward in Uttanasana full pose, okay? So now the feet are together, full pose. Hands on the floor on the blocks. Hands on the floor on the blocks, hands in line with the feet, probably more of the arch of the foot and go down. Legs are straight. Yes, I know some of you are bending the legs, but today we're just going to kind of avoid that tendency to bend the legs. We want to do all these with straight legs. go down. Nancy, you don't need the blocks that high on the second stage. Yeah, just go down. That's it. And then most of you in going down, shift the weight slightly forward, Gail, so that the buttocks aren't left behind. So Yukiko, Ellen. All right, now place the hands or take a look on the screen. Good, Peggy. And now up you come. Okay, we're going to change sides. So now you're standing at the top unless you've changed your orientation. Hands on the hips. Outer shins in, inner knees away. And now reach back through the core of your right heel so your left leg is in front. Yeah, you can bend the leg on the stepping back, but then focus on the leg straight. Again, like dog pose, make sure that your stance is long enough so you don't shortchange your spine. All right, now, good time. Now focus on your legs straight on the entry. Legs are straight, i.e. don't bend the legs. Have the memory of the floor of the wall. Now bend at the hips, legs straight, push into the back right heel. Draw up on your outer left knee. First stage, back concave, and then go down. Maybe it's easier on this side. Luca, and go down. Joanne, good, and go down. These are basic leg stretches. Yeah, good. Yukiko, that's beautiful pose. Okay, now kick forward with that back right leg and repeat Uttanasana. Feet together, outer shins in, and then go down. Don't let the buttocks tumble behind. Shift the weight so the weight is not at the back of the heel, but moving slightly toward the balls of the feet. Ellen, good. That's it. Go down. You need to hold on. That's it, Nance. Go down. Good. Lubna, that's helping. Good. Go down. All right, these are good. All right, now place the hands on the hips and inhale, up you come. All right, now you're going to face the wall just so that balance is a non-issue in either leg. Joanne, I'm not sure you could do this. So actually, I'll show you a way to do this for the knee. And I'm aiming my left heel to my outer left hip. So Joanne, if you have a chair nearby, just imagine I had a chair and I'm putting that foot on the chair. So it's kind of like an Akunchanasana with knee. Betsy, bring the knee back so that that right knee is in, that's it. And then lift more, Betsy, from the pubic bone. That's it. Joanne, just use the chair and set right or left knee. Yeah. So you're opening up the frontal groin. Aim to get the, yeah. Ellen, notice how the trunk is coming forward. So buttocks down, but pubic bone up. Let's take that thigh, root of the thigh back if you can. So I want to say that if you can some of you turn yourself to, yeah. So this is what's happening. Many of you are letting the knee come forward of the opposite leg. See if you can get the thighs on the same plane. Okay, let's do it again. All right, just try. Otherwise, you'll bypass the groin opening. If it's too challenging, put the knee on the chair. Good, Peggy. And then those of you want to challenge yourself, hold the foot and aim the heel, good, Luna. You aim the heel to the outer butt. Joanne, I'm not sure you need the, yeah, that's fine. Looks a little thick, that blanket. All right, change sides, that's good. Gail, good. All right, change sides. Utthita Baddhasana for the groin. You'll see how this is helpful in the next pose. See if you hold, Lana and Lily, hold, Lindsay, you can hold it, yeah, if you, I can't see on the screen, but you can hold the foot with two hands. Maybe you're doing it. Hard to tell. Peggy, good. All right, now release. All right, now take a belt, everyone. And if it's a super long belt, like an 8 or 10 foot, I would double loop it. This is a Pune belt, and even this belt at 6 feet is too long. So I like to double loop it. And we're doing Chitta Hasta Padangusthasana. So I'm just going to show you frontally, but you're going to aim your left foot to the wall. You'll be standing on the right foot. So when you lift the left leg up, put the belt on, you hold the belt with two hands and extend to wall. Okay. All right, so it doesn't have to be belted. It's just like the two rungs are loose and then you're holding it. All right, but you're lifting the leg up to you and then putting the belt on. Okay, so let's stand facing the wall, stand upright in Samastiti. Now I will say to everyone, that most of the time people are too far away from the wall. They're too far, so it's less than a leg's distance away if you were to measure it from Dandasana. All right, so I did say we were going to take the left leg, but let's take the right leg up. Okay, spread the toes. Okay, press the root of the thighs back. All right, now keeping your left leg absolutely poker stiff, lift your right leg up, quickly put the belt across the ball of foot like you do in Supta 1, and then stretch, good Peggy, your right leg. Winnie, it might be, you could use the chair, although that's a thin ledge. The wall is generally more effective because there's more of wall surface. Or you can put a bolster or 2 bolsters on the seat of the chair. Nancy, that's really good to use the draw because there's more surface ledge. Or what you could do, Winnie, is put the chair so like what Yukiko is doing, so the backrest is on the wall and then have the foot on it. Gail, if you have a ledge, that's perfect. Okay, now Ellen, watch how the standing leg is bending. So now, Tom, you're facing the wall with the area leg at the wall. Okay, Joanne, you can step in. Betsy, I think you could be a smidge closer to the wall. So I'm having to look around and see everyone. Donna, good. Okay, now take the leg up. So I think, Tom, if you're having trouble, watch. Winnie, you can, I'll show this. Let me get the chair. So if for any reason your foot is sliding from the wall, you could put the chair here. Nancy, you were creating this situation with the draw. And then just have your heel. Do you see? Up, so it's supporting. If you don't have a ledge, right? That might be helpful. So the back, this is the backrest of the chair, that's against the wall. Okay, can we do the other side? Stand in Samastiti, spread the feet, outer shins in, outer shins in. All right, now keep the right leg. Don't disturb the right leg because that's the leg that we saw on the other side got disturbed. Just simply lift the left leg, push your right hand into the root of the right thigh, put the belt on, and quickly extend to wall, ledge, or backrest. Okay, find out if you turn the right foot out. Yeah, so some of you, I can see the right foot is turned out a little bit. The toes are facing forward. And if you're showing me from behind, literally, Lana and Lindsay, I can see your buttocks are even. That's really good. Now, Ellen, on this time, this left leg is bending at the wall. So push the heel into the wall. Tom, that's much better. Okay, watch your right foot. It's, yeah, the standing leg is turning out. So you're doing the other side. Yeah. Okay. All right, now come out. All right, now I'll give you it. We're going back to Parsvottanasana, aiming to get the chest to the thigh. And I'm going to give you an option. If you want to use again the back left heel at the wall, do so. Otherwise, you're going to do it freestanding. Okay, but the same way we're coming into it from the stepping back method. So stand in Samastiti. Yes, and if you're, you can show me in profile, which is the very best way, or frontally. So we're doing Parsvottanasana again. Blocks are placed beside your heels. Lift your left leg up and reach it back. So the right leg is in front. That's it. Okay. Now get your stance. If you feel you didn't reach back far enough and you're at the wall, then you can't adjust the back leg. So inch out with the front foot. All right, now extend your arms backward, a la this. This way, palms facing each other like Shalabhasana. Now very slowly be steady eddy in your legs because oftentimes the arms going backward help you stay steady in your legs, and then the hands will come to the floor. Okay, reach back, steady in the legs, steady in the legs, steady in the legs. Tom, see if you can keep that right leg straight, draw up from the knee to the hip. Now place the hands beside the right foot, either on blocks or on the floor. Now pay attention to the back leg straight, right hip is moving to the left, outer right shin in, and now go down, go down. Keep the leg straight. Keep the leg straight. Okay, now place the hands on the hips, steady in the legs, root your legs into the floor. Good, Betsy, come up. Now kick forward with the back leg. And take Uttanasana with your hands holding the back of your calf and go down. See if that helps. Merge the chest with the legs. Hold the back of the leg. Back of the leg. So have the hands in, so they're going more like this. Watch everyone in profile. So my palms are facing up and I reach back. And I'll show from behind. So they're kind of like in a Baddha Hasta position. And pull the chest toward the legs. That's it. Pull the chest, good Lubna, to the legs. Change the cross. Good. Now unleash the hands, place the hands on the hips and other side. So either freestanding or at the wall. We're doing on the left side. So the right leg can bend a little bit in the stepping back, but then you have to straighten the leg. Step back, right heel belongs to the wall, or if you're doing it freestanding. All right, the stances look better. Outer left shin in. Okay, now pressurize your back foot into the earth. Don't let the knee bend of the back leg. Extend the arms by your side. And now steady in your legs. Use the force of the arms, go slowly, reaching backward to create the stability of the legs. Good, Gail. And then place the hands beside the left foot, either on blocks or fingertips on the floor. Good, Betsy. Legs straight. Now compact the hips in the concave stage. Don't let the left hip wander, Lubna. And now go down. See if you can merge the chest with the thigh. Merge the chest with the thigh. On this second round of Parsvottanasana. Okay, now keep the legs steady, straight, hands on hips, legs are straight on the exit. Now kick forward with the back right leg and take another Uttanasana, holding the backs of your calves. Use this to bring the buttocks forward. That's why I'm doing it. So when you have something to hold on to that back of the leg, shift the weight. Shift the weight. So the buttocks, no buttocks are left behind. That's it, Gail. Weight is moving toward the balls of the feet, but not in the toes, because then the buttocks have come forward too much. Good, Betsy. Think of if you were on the ground now, you would be, of course, be in Paschimottanasana, which is where we're going. Now place the hands, if you haven't changed the cross, change the cross again, or place the hands on the hips and come up. Okay, Supta Padangusthasana 1, with the feet ideally at the wall. If you don't have a wall, don't worry about it. You could also use 2 blocks, all right? So now, you can see how we're going to lose the earth element in this asymmetrical pose. So you're on your back and take Ekapada, Pavanuttasana, knee toward chest. Just wait there. Flex through the foot to open up the right sole of the foot. Extend, good, Betsy. Extend through the heel hinge. See if you can use your breath now to merge the chest with the thigh. You take an inhalation and then an exhalation, and then against the resistance of the abdomen moving back, draw the knee closer to the chest in that manner. So Tom, we're on our back doing Ekapada Pavanuttasana. That's it. Remember, pay attention to your left thigh clamping down. Foot is at the wall. Good. Now take the belt in the same way you did in Tita Hasta Padangusthasana and stretch the leg up to 90, like you did in Parsvottanasana. At 90 degrees, compact the hips. So very, linear instructions. This is first, this is second. Okay, now pay attention to your left leg, left root of the thigh down. In fact, you can even put your left hand on your left root of the thigh and press it down. And now begin to move the leg closer and closer. Don't let the legs bend. So this whole lesson, again, Learning how to open up the backs of the knees. See what part of your right leg wants to bend. Generally, it's right above the knee. Press it back to the wall, but pair that with the action earlier on in Dandasana of extending strongly from the inner knee to the inner heel. You had the earth element when you did it. Now you don't have the earth element. So it's hard work. See if you can pull the toes down, pull down on the strap, push the heel up, pull the toes down, and see if you can extend more, everybody, through your inner right knee to your inner heel. Now that's really good. I want those legs to be like they're free-flowing rivers. There's no obstructions in the back of the knee. You have no knees, no knees. Think about it in that manner. No knees, no knees. Legs are straight. Outer right hip moving in. Left thigh pressing down. Good, good, good. Extend through the core of the heel. That leg is a free-flowing river. Imagine liquid in the right leg. It would have no obstruction. It wouldn't get impeded anywhere. Okay, now take that right knee in. Good. And we'll change side. First Ekapada, left side. Well done. So you can see, these are, basic leg stretches, but with the two themes in mind, creating no obstacles at any point in the leg, no knees, and also using the earth element, which is easier. And then when there is no earth element, you have to work hard. Okay, here we go. Place the belt on, take the leg to 90, get the leg straight at 90. That's it, straight at 90. Pull the toes down, push the heel up. Left hip has to move into the midline. Remember what you did standing. Okay, and now go. Maybe this side is more easeful. You can take the leg way beyond 90. Leg straight. Leg straight. Go, go, go. Let the elbows go out to the sides. Now it's interesting because many times we'll do Supta Padangusthasana 1 before we do Parsvottanasana because it improves it. But when we learn it as beginners, we actually learn Parsvottanasana before Supta Padangusthasana 1. But I want you to use now Supta Padangusthasana 1 not only to improve Parsvottanasana, but of course to improve Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana 1, which is what we did a moment ago at the wall. Or use the chair. Okay, and now release. So I'm going to spotlight someone to show it freestanding. Betsy, do you mind showing it? Utthita Hasta freestanding. I'll take you through it. Betsy, you're okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you're okay.
I'm not sure I can balance.
Okay, so we want to try it. I can take you through it. Freestanding. Okay, so let me spotlight Betsy because many people, Betsy might feel the same way. All right, so we'll see. All right. So to move on in this posture, we want to move away from the wall or the backrest of a chair. So Betsy, you have your belt and she's nicely made it smaller, which I think helps because if the belt is too long, guess what? Your trunk is going to lean back. So Betsy, can you show this in profile? Would be really great. All right. So stand in Samasthiti. Outer shins in. All right, now pay attention to your left thigh, rooting it down, rooting the foot, right foot into the left foot into the floor, pressing the root of the left thigh back, lift your right leg up. Yes, put the belt on. Now pay attention to your left foot, left thigh, press it back to the windows, that's it, and extend through the core of the heel. It's exactly what you did. That's very good, Betsy. All right, root of the left thigh back. Her leg is higher than 90 degrees, right? It's wonderful. All right. The right hip is pinning in. See how her ears are in line with her shoulders over her hips. And now take the leg down, Betsy. That was a beautiful pose. Thank you so much for demonstrating. Okay, everyone. Utthita Hasta. If you need the wall and Nancy, if you want to do it with the draw, I have no problem. So, some of you can take the next step. Some of you may not feel comfortable today taking the next step. Maybe your balance feels a little bit off. Okay, so I want to get you all back in the
the gallery view. As Betsy did, shorten your belt because it really makes a difference. You think a small point like that would make a difference, and it does. All right, so we're going to take, as Betsy showed, the right leg up. So you can stand in profile, roots of the thighs back. All right, now extend down into the core of the left heel, lift the right leg up, put the belt on, don't lean back, and quickly extend. Make sure your legs are straight. If you need the wall, take it. Don't lean back. Ellen, then just watch how that root of this, I know it's hard, but this pose, if we don't take it freestanding, will only get more challenging. Now, Donna, take the root of the thigh back and raise your trunk higher and higher. Raise, yeah, don't let the chest go, yeah. So that's it, Donna. Okay. Now come down and we'll change sides. I'm not keeping you, maybe 30 seconds on that side. All right, if you need the wall or the chair at the wall, take it. If you're getting tired, you can repeat Supta Pada Visthasana 1. Okay, standing in Samastiti. So let me just say this, the Samastiti is critical. As soon as you lift your aerial left leg, go back to the right thigh, press it back, and then put the belt on, quickly extend. So these again, these leg stretches, we have to do Theta Hasta often as it gets more challenging. Really good. Left hip to the right. That's good, Peggy. Root of the right thigh pressing back. Donna, just take it again. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and now take the leg down. All right, now we'll do Parsvottanasana in the more classical way. So we're coming back to the earlier pose that we typically teach earlier on. Everyone will do it freestanding, and we're not going to step back. We're going to take the legs wide apart, and then simply turn the right leg out, turn the left foot in, and then those who can, take the hands in Paschimma Namaskar. We worked on this last week. Or those of you who want to use the wristlet or the dowel, we're taking the arms backward, and then you're going to do the full pose, okay? So challenge yourself to take your arms into Paschimma Namaskar, or use the wristlet, or use your arms backward, or use your dowel. Give you lots of options. All right, turn the right leg out 90 degrees. Turn the left foot in. Tom, inch out a little bit with the front foot. All right, now you're facing your right leg. Compact your hips. Good, Nancy. All right, now lift strongly up through your pubic bone. Remember, last week we worked a lot on the very first stage of Parsvottanasana, where the trunk is upright. Look up from the eyes of the chest. Now, stay with your legs. Why are we doing it this way? Because now you don't have the use of your hands to make steady the legs. So without the use of your arms, can you keep your legs straight? And now go. Bend forward. Bend forward. And now go down. Yukiko, see if you can pull up a little more on your outer right knee. That's it, Donna. Sorry. Go down. This is the third time of Parsvottanasana. Yes, it's true, the harder arm position, which is basically no arms, but see if you can merge the trunk with the thighs. Merge the trunk with the thighs. And now inhale, up you come. So see this kind of like what I'll call continuum. So we're back to Parsvottanasana, where this is the third time we've done it. After Supta 1, after Utthita Hasta, hopefully it's gotten better. We've made the variable a little bit harder on this third round by not being able to take our hands to the floor. Okay, so start from Utthita Hasta, legs wide apart. Now you turn the left leg out. And then come into the very first stage. Chin up, look up from the eyes of the chest without the use of your hands. You're then forced to keep your legs straight. That's it, Gail. You can use the wristlet or the dowel, but now you don't get, that's it, Ellen. Now bring the chest toward the thigh. And see, good, but try not to bend the legs. That's it, go down. Now good, go down. So the legs, you have to feel it in your legs. You can't not feel it in your legs without the use of the hands on the floor. Good, now steady in your legs, well done. And now inhale, up you come. All right, now you can need a well-deserved rest. Take Dandasana, feet together. You can show in profile. Joanne, I'll make some modifications on this next bit of class for you. So now the feet are together. We had started with the feet apart. We had started with the feet apart in Dandasana. We had started with the feet apart in Uttanasana. All right, now pay attention to the legs once again, not bending. So again, if you need to bifurcate your calf and extend through the core of the heel, do so. So we're sitting in Dandasana, lifting the trunk up. Basically where we began before we took the legs into Vishnu Konasana. All right, now in a moment, you're going to be doing Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Either arms are down by your side, or some of you can take the arms overhead. All right, and we're going to time it for 2 minutes. If your legs can't endure 2 minutes, have a strap nearby, and you'll employ the belt. We had done some of this work right before Thanksgiving. Okay, so you're in Supta Tadasana on your back. The feet don't have to be at the wall. Arms are down by your side. Good. Okay, now bend your knees for a moment and stretch the legs to 90. Now, for many of you who have taken the leg beyond 90, likely that the legs will also go beyond 90. Find 90, you can look at your screen. Or I can tell you. Good, Nancy. Now see if you can, if this is easy, take the arms overhead. If it's not, hold the sides of the mat. You can use the dowel if the arms are overhead, or even better, palm the brick overhead. Now, if the legs are wandering down to the floor, put the belt on. Winnie, the legs are coming out beyond 90, so just bring them back away from your head. No, the other way. Yeah, away from the head. So I want you to keep your legs poker stiff. If all else fails, you could just have the legs up at the wall. So we're staying about 2 minutes. Remember the use of the floor. Remember the use of the wall. The legs have to open. Front to back, side to side. Relax your eyes and your throat and see if you can do Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, this timing, more from your abdomen than from your eyes or muscles. Let it be organic. We spent a lot of time with this before Thanksgiving, doing abdominal work from an organic point of view. Okay. 15 seconds more. Gail, bring the legs a little bit forward to your head side. Right above the knee. Donna, keeping the legs straight. That's it. Good. Okay. Now bend the knees. Okay. Now watch. I know this is challenging for many of you. I will go over some of the modifications if I see that any of you need it. So we go back to where you were. Legs are, they're not here. That's beyond 90, nor are they here. They're just at 90, as though I would have the memory of before. Then I can hold the sides of the mat. I keep the legs poker stiff, touch the toes to the floor, lift the inner knees up and come up. That was even too long. Touch down, 90. So I'm going from 90, not Paschimottanasana, not Paripoornavasana, just from 90, touchdown, 90, touchdown, 90, touchdown. If you can't get your toes to the floor, elevate your pelvis. Okay, here we go. If anyone's neck bothers them, then just stay at 90 degrees. And then, don't stay long, Ellen. Don't stay long. See, I stayed but 2 seconds. Touchdown. If you are using the bolster underneath the pelvis and the toes still don't come to the floor, then put a bolster behind you to be received by your toes. So you're elevating the foot position, elevating, good, Donna, the pelvis. Okay, these look good. Just go to 90. You're not jolting up. Don't stay for 1 second. Stay for 1 second. Okay, good. All right, so I need to show this because it would not be wise not to show this. So just watch carefully. So for those of you who found that challenging, and then we'll move on. Watch. So I'm elevating my pelvis on the bolster. These bolsters have straps, it makes it easier to hold. And then I take my arms overhead because my toes will land on that bolster. So I've elevated my pelvis. I've elevated the floor to make it easy peasy, touchdown, okay? So that might have been helpful, and that will help the next round. Now, everyone, we're doing Paschimottanasana. Let me show. So we're starting in Dandasana, feet together. I'm actually like to put the bolster in front of my feet. It helps me get that same traction that I asked you to use your calves in Uttanasana. You can use a dowel or a plank board or 2 blocks as well. And then I'm coming forward into Paschimottanasana. Notice how my arms are wider than my shoulders and my elbows are lifting up toward the ceiling. Okay? Paschimottanasana. Gail, if this bothers your back, you can bend the knees slightly to this position and come forward. You can just stay in this position with the legs slightly bent. Okay, let's see this. Donna, that's good. Paschimottanasana, Paschimottanasana. Legs covering the floor. Nancy, that's good. The belt around the strap, that's always a good idea. And now go forward from the sides of your diaphragm. Find out in going forward if the legs have lifted up toward the ceiling. Press the upper knees down. But if you want to put the bolster underneath your armpits, the cylindrical one that you use for this, yeah, because, yeah, I'm just giving people different pathways. Tom, I think for Paschimottanasana, sit on the chair and take your hands to the wall. For you, that would be much better, sitting on the chair and taking your hands to the wall. Okay, all right, now, so this way, if anyone's having trouble with Paschimottanasana, especially if it's problematic for your back, I would suggest sitting on the chair and doing it in this manner, okay? Now, we're moving on, so watch. So I'm going back to UPP. Again, if you have neck issues, then just stay in UPP or do Paschimottanasana. So I'm back to where we were, UPP. And then I'm going to take the legs overhead and then come into Paschimottanasana. So I bent my legs on that one. All right, watch. My legs are straight. Hit the legs to the floor and come into Paschimottanasana and then repeat 2 more times. Again, if your neck bothers you, just stay in UPP with the legs at 90 or Paschimottanasana. So now with movement, no neck problems. Go from UPP, legs overhead, if there's no neck problems, and then come forward. Good, Luna. Go. You can do 5 times, you can do 3 times, you can do 1 time. And build up. No strain, good, Gail, in the neck. Tom, that's good, that's it. Just take the arms wider. Okay, good. Let's see if these are improving. Joanne, that's good. Have the pelvis on the bolster and aim the feet to a chair or another bolster. Good. All right. Now come up. All right, so most of you did at least 3. All right, now we're moving on. So now we have no earth element at all. So again, we're moving from earth to air. When there's no earth, it's hard to straighten the legs. So watch. I start in Dandasana, and then it's true, you could bend the legs, and I'll show that if I need to. You're going to recline the trunk back. Now, this momentum that you gleaned in that rock and roll, same thing, Paripornanavasana, okay? So it's true, it would be a little bit easier if we bend the legs, lifted the lower spine up, and then charging through the heels, stretched the legs, and then extricated the hands from the floor and took it. But I'd like to challenge yourself to do Paripornanavasana from Dandasana, which will require that same momentum that you gleaned in rock and roll. All right, so show me in profile if you can. If anyone's back is hurting, then I suggest you do it, remember the principles. Have the feet up at the wall and do it in this manner. Especially if, and I shouldn't say just back issues, if your hamstrings are very tight, then it's better to do Paripornanavasana with the legs bent as I'm doing at the wall. All right, start in Dandasana. Lift your lower spine up. Tom, you can place the hands on the floor, it'll be easier. Now, this happens rather quickly. Recline the trunk back a smidge and then swing the legs straight up. Now quickly take the hands away from the floor. Have your hands in line with the shoulders, palm facing each other. Good. Lift your kiko from the lower spine. Okay, and then come down. Let's do it one more time. If you're struggling with straight legs, then by all means bend the legs, extend through the core of the heel, and then extend the arms. The arms are like the oars. Okay, let's see it one more time from Dandasana. From Dandasana. Trunk back a little bit. Yes, now take the arms up, take the legs up, legs straight. I know it's hard, and then stretch out through the arms. Okay, and then down. All right, now we'll try one round of this, or maybe 2 rounds. So you're going back to UPP. Swing the legs, touch down, and then Paripurna Navasana, and then Paschimottanasana. Okay, I know it'll be easier to come into Paripurna Navasana touching bent legs, and then we'll move on. Okay, see if you can give me one of these. So it's UPP to legs overhead to Paripurna Navasana, touch it, and then Paschimottanasana. I know it's challenging. It takes a lot of abdominal effort. Good, Donna. And now go to Paschimottanasana. Okay. And then slowly come out. If you want to do it again, that's fine. All right. Now have a belt nearby. We're doing Uvaya Padangusthasana, which for some of you will be easier than Paripurna Navasana. Although classically it's taught later. So watch. You're going to start in Dandasana, and then you're going to bend the legs, and you're going to hold the big toes. The arms can be on the inside of the knees or on the outside of the knees. Then I kick my lower spine in, so I don't want to straighten the legs when my back is rounded like this. My legs are bent. I get that same Paripurna Navasana action. I lift from my lower spine, which you can see in the white, and then no earth element. I extend strongly through the core of the heels, pressing the top of the knee back toward the wall and extending strongly through my inner heels. Okay? Those of you who can't reach the big toes, use the strap. You can show me in profile. All right, Uvaya Padangusthasana. There's also a way you can put the lower legs on the seat of the chair. Okay, so let's start. Hold the big toes. Now lift the lower spine up. You did that in Paripurna Navasana. Now, firm hold of the big toes, good, and stretch through the core of the heels, or use the strap, good. So most of you can see this is a lot easier than Paripurna Navasana because you close the chain. Okay, now come back. Let's challenge some of you. Instead of holding the big toes, go to the outer edges of the feet and go. The outer edges of the feet. Closer to the toes than to the heels, and repeat when you're ready. Or use the strap. Okay, let's see Lindsay Lana. Use the belt if you need to. Hold the sides of the feet. Hold the sides of the feet. Okay, that's it, Joanna. Sides of the feet. Okay, and out you come. Eventually, you're holding beyond the feet, and you're bringing the legs toward the chest. And we'll do that at some point, but not today. Let's do this. Everyone sit in Virasana, have a block. Joanne, you can do Paschimottanasana, or, and then after you finish Paschimottanasana, do some bridges, all right? So you won't take the legs in Virasana. So you're having a block and you're sitting on it for Virasana. I'll show in profile. I know I'm going rather quickly, but I want to get to Kranchasana. Press the root of the thigh down. See that you're on the baby toe side of your feet and your outer shins are pressing into the earth. Okay, so in a moment we're coming into Triangle Mukha Padasho. I'm going to show this in frontally because we haven't done this in quite some time. So I'm sitting in Virasana, and first, before we do Trianga, I'm gonna have you come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana, the true coming forward in Virasana, and then watch. You'll shift to the left side, staying on the brick. You'll extend the right leg out. We'll take the concave stage and then go down. All right. All right. So now you're sitting in Virasana, keeping your buttocks firm contact with the block. Reach your arms forward. If your buttocks should raise off the brick, then put a bolster underneath your forearms. So this is really the true coming forward in Virasana versus child's pose. And we often don't teach this. If your shoulders are height, move the trapezius away from the neck, everyone. Good move. Now, take the arms first, decentralize the arms so the trapezius doesn't fall on the neck. Good. Joanne, keep going, and then you can do it the feet on the chair to work your glutes. All right, now come up. I'll show this in profile. So you're going to extend, I'll show it to you with my left leg. You're going to keep the left leg in its place, and you're going to extend your right leg. So I'm taking the first stage of Triangle Mukha Kapata, where the back is concave, and then lifting the elbows up to the air and coming forward. All right. So you're keeping your left leg in Virasana, extend through the core of the right heel, raise the arms up, reach up, concave back like Parsvottanasana. Feel the weight of the left baby toe into the earth, lifting the elbows up. Use your arms like you did in Parsvottanasana to move the sides of the diaphragm forward. You lift the arms up, elbows lifting, trapezius belongs to the waist side, and now go down. And now inhale, up you come. Take that right leg back to Virasana. Stay earthy on the right baby toe, outer right shin. Lean to the right, extend through the core of the left leg. Raise the arms up, reach up, exhale. Hold your left foot, the sides of your left foot, or use the belt, concave stage. And then lifting the elbows up. Move your diaphragm forward. Move up, that's it. Diaphragm forward. Even if you need to place your hands on your diaphragm and move forward. Good. Donna, that's it. Come forward into Triangle Mukha Kapata, Paschimottanasana. Well done. Okay, now extend, bring your left leg back to Dandasana. All right, then you can use the block and repeat Paschimottanasana, or better yet, put two blocks in front of your feet so your arms are wider than your hips, and take the second Paschimottanasana. Feet are together, or the bolster. Find out, everyone, coming forward, if your legs have bent, press the top of the knee down. Now that's it. Stay in concave. Right above the knee, Donna, and extend through the core of the heel so that legs just belong to the floor. Tom, again, in Paschimottanasana, I think wiser to have the buttocks on the chair and reach out to the wall so that the back doesn't round you up as much. All right. All right, now come up. We'll do Paschimottanasana probably one more time. Let me just show this in profile. So I'm going back to Virasana. I'll show in profile. Sitting in Virasana. And then watch. We're going to place the right leg in kind of that Marichyasana, one position where the right heel is in front of the right buttock. Then like a Dvipada, we're going to hold the shin. Parikornavasana action, lift the lower lumbar, and then with strap or holding the sides of the foot, I take the very third stage of Kranchasana. Okay, so here you can really see all the pieces put together now, right? From all the work that we've done in Pariporna, Ubaya, Parsvottanasana. All right, so now if your knees are bothering you in any way, then go back to Ubaya Padangusthasana and do Ubaya Padangusthasana, holding the sides of the feet or the big toe. Some of you will need a strap for Kranchasana, have it nearby. So you're sitting in Virasana. I'll show frontally. And then you're taking the right leg into Marichiasana 1, where the right foot is directly in front of the right butt. Wait there, lift your lower spine up. Okay, now you're going to raise the right foot off the floor, hold the sides of the foot or use the belt. And now merge the trunk with your thigh. Pause there. So your right leg is bent. Remember what we did in Paripurna Navasana. Now extend through the core of your heel. Kranchasana. Yeah, we're not, so just stay in this upright stage, not bringing the head down. We're not doing that stage. Just this very third stage, not the final stage. Good, Val. Okay, now bring that right leg back to Virasana, change sides. So sit in Virasana, get your composure. And then take your left leg shifting to the right, Marichiasana. Hold your shin and lift, use your hands around the shin, lift your lower spine up. Okay, now you're going to lift the left foot. Notice how the trunk sinks backward. So hold the sides of the foot if you need to use the belt, and strong lift from the lower lumbar spine that you got in Paripurna. Now quickly extend through the core of the heel like we've been doing all morning. Don't lean back. Don't lean back. Don't lean back. Want to lean back. Don't lean back. Hard not to lean back. Okay, keep that left leg straight. And now come back to Virasana. Extend the legs back out to Dandasana and take your final Paschimottanasana. So you're in profile again, arms up, and now come forward. So Tanya, have the feet on the floor in Paschimottanasana, yeah, and then come forward, because that's going to make your trunk, if they were on the wall now, your trunk really went back. That's it. So this final Paschimottanasana, good, Donna. That's it. Let the elbows lift off the floor. Join, you can lift the elbows a little higher. Good, Val. If you need to lie on your back and do Dvipada, that's fine. That's really good, Betsy. Listen, if your diaphragm has moved back, come up a little bit, and with your hands, insert your hands in your lower, below the navel, and move the diaphragm forward. That will help some of you not collapse backward. So your trunk and your spine have to move in the same direction, which is forward. Okay, now everybody lie on their back. When you can still do this, lie on your back, and you're going to do 15 times Chatuspadasana. So if you need the blanket for the shoulders, the head is off, the shoulders are on. 15. If you want to put a block between your thighs, that's fine too. I want you to just engage your hamstring muscles as you come into Chatuspadasana. Just 15 of them.
Sorry, Ronnie, I didn't hear what you wanted.
Chatuspadasana, Betsy, on your back, and with movement, lifting, working the whole posterior body from a strength point of view, specifically engaging the hamstrings, Betsy. Okay, so feet down, head down, shoulders down, and go up and down 15 times. Don't let the legs splay out. Feet are pressing, good, Joanne. Feet are hip width apart. Put the block in so the thighs don't roll out. Go up and down. Up and down. Want to have the belt around the ankles, that's fine. If you can hold your ankles, that's fine. Up and down. 15. Sense that you're lifting from your backside, the posterior, not the anterior. So you don't initiate, the source of lifting up is not from the abdomen, but rather from the back. It's different. Otherwise, we just tend to push. Yeah, Gail, we're going to come into Shavasana in a moment. So I took you rather quickly through many, many leg stretches today. We could have done half as many in the hour and a half, but I wanted to give you the kind of the lay of the land in a full comparison of what it's like to go from earth to ether. Okay, so now when you're ready, let's take a well-deserved Shavasana. You can put the lower legs on the seat of the chair, which might feel nice, or the knees on a bolster after all that hamstring work. So like when we sit, just find a comfortable posture for your Shavasana, when you can do prone. So I wish for you, in doing your leg stretches, which are basically abdominal work, leg stretches, I wish for you an easeful sequence where it's a joyful experience to stretch your legs. If this wasn't joyful, you can email me so we can make it joyful the next time. So again, sense that you're trusting the earth now. You're trusting the earth, letting go, landing, settling, landing and settling, landing, settling, and trusting. Notice the state of your consciousness. Perhaps it's less fragmented than when you first arrived and you sat. But you still need to set aside the list of to-dos, the list of worries and concerns. Put it down. For some of you who came in late, I'm going to read again from Sylvia Boorstein. One of the last things the Buddha said when he died was transient are all conditions. Everything that arises, this life, this mayfly, this flower, this mountain, and most importantly, this life, anything that's a created thing passes. And then he said to be confident about the future. Let the future arise in confidence. I love that. I've said many times that there really is only one Dharma talk. And again, Dharma talk is a talk of the truth about wisdom. Life is complex and challenging all the time, from the beginning to the end, but it's manageable, it's doable, and it's possible to celebrate. It's possible to celebrate because it's magnificent and awesome and interesting. Present moment awareness is required now. Meeting this moment fully. And Sylvie likes to say, meeting this moment as a friend. See if you can be wholehearted in your attention, no less, no more. Present moment awareness. Just the seeing and the knowing is enough. But see with kindness and affection. Meet that moment as a friend. So if anyone wants to transition themselves, we have time. For those of you who like to sit for a few moments in an upright position, feel free. You can use the wall for your back, or stand. And again, continuing to settle, to trust, to land. Present moment awareness. No more, no less. Just seeing, just knowing, meeting every moment clearly and as a friend. If the mind still feels unsettled, you can go back to using the breath. Make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. Breathing through the nose, count of 2, and exhaling through the mouth on the count of 4. Useful. You can amp it up to inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8. So in a moment, I'll stop the recording, and I just want to say something about this breath work before too many of you read.